connecting. All right, good evening. Woo! I don't know if we're connected yet, but good evening, good evening.
Yes.
Welcome to the
Good
show.
evening. Don't know if we're connected.
We're not sure yet.
We are live.
We are live. Awesome.
Awesome.
Hey, everyone. Welcome. This is going to be a great show. I'm going to mute that. We have a great show for you. Unfortunately, our guest that we were going to have, yes. What's going on, Selena? Welcome. And so the guest that we had, he fell ill, and we hope that he feels better. Welcome,
Yes.
Russell. We hope that he feels
Russell.
better. We have rescheduled him for the 17th, so we will still get his story, so that is awesome, and he's going to feel better, and so that's that. But we wanted to still bring you a good topic, and I was kind of talking about just what I've seen in the last maybe 2 years on MLMs. I'm not sure what's the acronym?
I don't know.
I don't know what the acronym is. Stands for, at the moment, I should have done that research. But MLMs, it's the products that you see that are sold.
Yeah, you buy into your own business, which I love that idea because it can give people ownership and something to, to be able to generate an income on their own and be proactive and kind of have a business of their own. Hey, Amy, how's it going? So, MLM, multi-level marketing.
Thank
you go.
There it is.
There it is.
Got it.
Awesome. Thanks, Selena. I appreciate that. So we were kind of talking about ideas for the show, and we started on a rant that had nothing to do with the idea for the show, and so we were like, maybe we should do a show on it.
Yeah.
And the idea is really, I'll let you go ahead. Oh, by the way, if you haven't been here before, we just kind of jumped into it.
Yes.
My name is Nicole.
And my name is Carl, and we are with Around the Leaf Consulting. And feel free to share this with as many of your friends as possible because I'm sure they have bumped into these products as well or are currently selling them, and they're going to want to get this information as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who have MLMs, and it would really be beneficial to know what we're about to talk about. So go ahead and share this with your friends because I'm sure they will be very glad you did.
Yes. So where this comes from is...
Sharing.
I'm sharing. Where this comes from is I was interested in joining Beachbody as a trainer, and the more I looked into it, and while I'm not saying one way or another of that product, I think it's a great product. I think it does great things for great people. When I was looking further into it from just my own background and how I saw people using social media to market this product, I was like, man, there's got to be a better way. There seems like there's something missing. And at the time, I didn't know what. And so the more and more I'm seeing more and more of these different products coming up, from perfumes to lip scents and Lularoe, and there's just a plethora of these MLMs. And again, what's the rap one?
It Works.
It Works, right? So you have all these different ones that are out there, and I feel like they all have the same flaw. And so I was reading this.
Not all.
Most.
But most.
Most, when it comes to how they're positioning and selling. And this is probably why, what we're going to share with you is probably why there are some people who have these groups or are selling and are just crushing it. And everyone holds out to them like as an outlier. And but there's a key thing here that we want to share you on why what can help you sell these products better.
Yes, and you figured this out really, in your process of researching what you're gonna have your thesis on for your master's, right?
It was a combination, yes. Hey, Mary, welcome.
Hello.
So, yes, I am going to be entering the, thank you for sharing this, Kelly. Amazing.
Yes, thank you.
I'm going to, this time next year, I will be in the doctorate for business administration. And so I have been looking for what my thesis is going to be on every professor of mine. I have picked their brain like, hey, what should I do? How can I prepare? And they said, well, find your topic as soon as you can. And then that way you can start, and then every class that you have, every paper, term paper, whatever, you do the research based on your topic, and then when it comes time for your dissertation, you have 3 years of research that you can go off of, and then you can put together your dissertation. So the topic that I have chosen is value, adding value or elements of value, depending on how you look at it. And I feel like many products today, not just MLMs, but in general, are not adding value to their customers. And the companies that set themselves apart are ones that do this. And so, and so here is the flaw that I see many times with MLMs, particularly on social media. I'm going to take a drink of water. Suspense.
And no one's here.
No one's here. Everybody left. No. All right. And if this is really resonating, I should say that after I say the first point, right? So the first point is this: product, and more product. That's what I hear. Product. Hey, we have more product.
Yes.
We have a sale on our product. Come check this out. This looks awesome. Our product is new. And so, and I'm going to tell you why this is flawed. What's going on, Aaron? Welcome to the show.
What up?
I know you've been scoping us out on the low, but welcome to our live show. So this is why, and I'm going to tell you why this is not a good strategy. And I know when MLMs, when you get this product, you kind of get what's worked for other people, and you know they haven't been doing it that long, but here is something that's worked for them. And
what
so,
up, Clifford? What's
going on, Clifford? Welcome to the show. What's been working for them, and so you kind of just adopt this model, without really knowing what goes behind this. And
some are very structured. I will say that some of the trainings that I've heard of are very structured and very to the point and very intensive, but some are just watered down from the original version. And sometimes you might be hired in from someone who's really active in their product, and sometimes you might be hired on from someone who, you know, kind of used it a little bit and then life got in the way, and they're not active in their product anymore.
Right. Or their goals are completely different. Again, you know, that's
being all cutesy on our show.
I know, that's awesome.
You guys are so cute.
That's awesome. Thumbs up for that. So the problem is that everyone has a different goal when they start these MLMs. So the strategy might be slightly different. But here's the key, okay? And this comes from about 30 years of research, okay? Not my own, but through Neil Rackman. He put together a book called Spin Selling, and I have read it quite a few different times. And the one thing that stood out for me, and this is what finally highlighted, like, that is what the problem is with, that I see a lot with MLM marketing, is it's too much product. Now, what it brought up in the book is the product of a watch, okay? Now, this product is, you can find a watch for about $10, good watch, it'll do you good, it might even survive underwater, okay? Or you can get a watch for thousands of dollars. Now, there's not much difference. They both tell time. They both sit on a wrist of some sort. And so some might, at this point, might be Bluetooth or different things like that. But at the core of it, they have one thing, and that is they sit on your wrist and they tell the time and other different features, right? Mm-hmm. But what in the book, what they're saying is that if you use the same sales tactics that you would use for a $10 watch on a $1,000 watch, you're going to get eaten alive. And here's why. Because when you sell a $10 watch, you're going to talk about the features. You're going to talk about how cool the display is, that it may have a calculator. It may wind itself. It is self-fitting. It has multiple settings. Mm-hmm. You're going to talk about the features, and you might even pull that out a little bit and talk about the benefits of why it's cool to have a calculator or different things like that. But it's very feature, benefit driven and focused.
Yes.
If you've ever seen an advertisement,
it's utility.
It's utility.
It's utility.
You're buying
it.
Yes. You're not making a huge investment. Mm-hmm. It's something that you need right now. You're like, man, I need a watch. I don't really want to spend a lot. Let's get a watch. Oh, this one's kind of cool. And you compare it with ones of the same. Mm-hmm. If you sell a watch that's $1,000, you're not talking about the features.
Nope.
You're not talking about the benefits. In fact, you're rarely even talking about the watch itself. You are talking about the experience that the wearer is going to have, the prestige, the power, the different things that come at that level of watch, of somebody who can afford to buy a $1,000 watch. Right. That's what you focus on. You focus on the person's status and the person's
the emotion.
The emotion.
Yes.
You sell the emotion, not the product. And here's why MLMs are a luxury product. Mm-hmm. What's going on, Sonia? Welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going?
So when you have two different types of products, and this book, Spin Selling, kind of looked into all the different sales trainings that exist at that time, and we love you too.
Yay, love you too.
At the time, and what it found is that most sales trainings are geared towards small sales. So that means that somebody doesn't have to think about it. Somebody doesn't have to make a conscious decision. They don't. What?
I said that heart's for you.
Yeah. They don't have to go talk to their spouse. They don't have to consult their CPA. There's no, they don't have to look over their budget. They don't have to talk to their budget counsel. No one has to make that kind of decision. It's a small purchase. Right. And most sales trainings are geared towards that. And that's the problem. That's a short sale versus a longer sale, which is where you're building a relationship. Like a sales of a house, a car, yes. Even a gym membership, where you're investing quite a bit amount of money that's going to, in your aspect, going to lead you to either more money or different things like that. But you're selling this idea at a certain price that's going to catapult somebody to the next level.
Right. And even on that point, when you are in an MLM, your main market is social media. Your main market is something like Instagram or Facebook or something like that. If you are selling something visual, like clothing or something like that, then you should be on Instagram.
Right.
There's no reason why you shouldn't be on Instagram, because Instagram is a huge market when it comes to emotional buys.
Yeah.
Because those pictures and everything like that really brings your audience to your page to even see your pictures, and then they might buy it without you even being there. And that's something we're going to talk about. But really, when you're selling on social media, you're not selling a product. You are selling the emotion, but mostly you're building a community.
Yeah.
You're building it's a sense of belonging, really. When you pay attention to your community, interact, even outside of that page, that's when people start building brand loyalty. When you start reaching to your people and saying, hey, what do you think about this? Or, doing these different activities to have them engaged in what you are doing now. That's what's going to build your solid and very loyal fan base. Again, if someone is going to, if you know anyone who will benefit from this, especially with MLMs and everything, please share it so that everybody can see it. Yeah, absolutely. You need to brand yourself. Yes. Yes. And the thing is, with these MLMs, there are so many people selling the same thing. So they're not buying the product. They can buy the product anywhere they want. They're buying your experience with the product. They are buying.
Sorry. Yes. Sorry. I mean,
they are buying your customer service. And that exclusivity of being in your tribe. You can go on.
Yes. Sorry. Yeah. You're selling you.
Yeah.
And that's the part that's missing. Okay. That now the case study that you told me about of the stress cube.
Yes, the stress cube. So, did anybody read this article today? I'm not sure if it was Entrepreneur Inc. that dropped it today, but I read it. And what it was is this 17-year-old was making apps in Canada, and he decided that he was tired of trying to make $1 billion app. So he, if anybody ever, oh wait, here we go.
Nice.
That's awesome. Here.
Sure.
I'll give you that one. So, what he did is when he was 17 years old, he decided that he was sick of trying to make $1 billion product or app, so he wanted to sell something. So what he did is he looked at Kickstarter and looked at what was hot on Kickstarter. And who has seen those blow up like loungers where you like puff them in the air and then you close them and then you can lay on them? Give a thumbs up if you've seen those. Because what he did is he went on Kickstarter, he looked at it, and then he went on Alibaba, which is the Chinese Amazon basically, and found a knockoff of it. So then, oh, I see thumbs up. Yeah, yes. So you guys know what I'm talking about. Awesome. So what he did is he went there and he found a knockoff. And when he found the knockoff, he sent them $5,000. He found a factory that would make his knockoff. And he sent $5,000, got 250 of them.
I think that's what you told me, yeah.
I believe. And then went and sold them at concerts in different places. And he made about $100,000 doing that. So then he went on Kickstarter again and looked up what was hot and what was getting, you know, a lot of crowdfunding, and he found one that was called the Fidget Cube. And it's just a little cube, and it has little like buttons and knobs and stuff like that, and you can just like do this in your hand, and you know, it occupies you if you're the kind of fidgeter. So he found that, and then again he went to Alibaba and found the knockoff of it, and he took $70,000 from that $100,000, and he wired it to China, which was a huge risk because he didn't even know if he was going to see it again, because he didn't even know the person he was talking with in this factory. He just did it. And I'm not, you know, suggesting you do this, but so what he did is he turned around and he gave them the $70,000, and they sent him, I forget the number, but he ended up making, what was it, $250,000?
$250,000
in 2 months. It was completely automatic.
Yep.
He made the product. He made an Instagram account for it. He used a bot to gather likes and follows, and he made $250,000, $100,000 in 250,000. I said it right.
Yeah. 250,000 in 2 months.
Right, in 2 months.
And could anybody use 250,000 in 2 months? Say yes in the comments.
Where's my phone? No.
Yeah.
Either way. So the point of this is that people were outraged because, you know, this is someone who's using a knockoff of an idea that had a crowd starter. No. Then you just give it to me, Aaron. Yeah. That's all you can do. Yeah, just give it to me. It's cool. Whatever.
If you can't use it, Aaron, I'll take yours. It's cool.
Yeah, I know. It's all good. Either way, so what he did when he, stole that idea and sold the knockoff, yeah, I mean, that's fair, but still, it was kind of genius what he did, but everybody was outraged because he stole this idea, and this was an idea that garnered like $4 million in crowdfunding. So, long story short, people were outraged that he knocked off that, original idea that everyone was loving. And the person who created the actual fidget cube, which, mind you, the other one was stress cube, the fidget cube, which was on the crowdsource, actually was like, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. We're going to have the quality. We're going to have the following. We've built a customer base that is loyal to us only. So the people who bought the knockoff, that's not their market. And that's kind of where it is with, I know it's a long story for a short point, but that's kind of where it is with the MLMs. That's not your market. Those people who are going to go to the store that need, clothing, or they need whatever, a nutritional drink, anything, those people are not your market.
Yep.
Your market are the people who are loyal to you, who are loyal to that brand, and that you can then use that brand to create your own personality and your own branding to become that brand in that person's head in whichever unique way you choose. But you have to choose a way. You have to create a story that people get sucked into. It has to be captivating enough for them to want to share you to other people, or for them to want to just become brand ambassadors for you. And if you've never heard the term brand ambassador, that's when someone loves your brand so much, or loves you so much and what you're providing, that value, that they want to. Aw.
All right, man.
Sad face. Thanks for joining us,
hanging out,
Aaron.
man.
You're awesome.
All right, you stay awesome too.
Aw, hearts.
And if we are adding value to you right now, share this with your friends, because
Yes.
you know what? This really is, we would love to add value to them as well.
Absolutely. So, and it would help us out too.
Yes.
So, where was I? Oh yeah, brand ambassador. If you've never heard the term brand ambassador, that is basically someone who is so hyped and so pumped for your product or the value that you're bringing to their life that they are now your free advertising. Mm-hmm. They go to everyone and they tell everyone, oh my gosh, you should see this selection this person has, or oh my gosh, you should see. So the people you are serving, because that's what you are. You're serving people, and that's kind of the mentality you need to have. These people are here for you. Mm-hmm. Thanks for sharing it, Russell.
Yes.
Oh, and 3 others.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Appreciate that, you guys. So, those people, you're not really looking to only affect them. So never think only them. You are thinking beyond them. Hey, Andrew, I didn't even know you were in here.
Yes.
They don't tell us these things.
What's going on, man?
Yeah.
Welcome.
So definitely, when you come in here, say hi, so we know you're here. Because,
yes.
Because Facebook
doesn't
does
always
not
let
tell
us
us. So, hi. So yes, these brand ambassadors, they promote your product without any money spent. Mm-hmm. And word of mouth is the most powerful testimony you can have, because it's that person. It's way more powerful than testimonies. By the way, if you do get a testimony, make it, or try to make it, a video testimony, because anybody can make up words, anybody can put it in a format of they said that,
yep.
And it's not compelling. If you have a video testimony, though, that brings it to a whole new level. I mean, you're talking next level stuff, because now people see not only that someone is believing in your product, but that they are excited about it.
Yes.
You know?
Absolutely. And that's the adding value that we're talking about. In 2010, 2008, 2010, the Great Recession, I don't have to say much on that, what happened. We know what happened there. Mm-hmm. Nordstrom's is a high-end clothing store. They did not file for bankruptcy. They didn't go out of business. They had closed a few different companies globally, but they do that anyways, okay, on any given time. They didn't. They didn't have to. Because when you walk into a Nordstrom's, I don't know if you've ever walked into one, you're greeted. You're not pushed into what you need to sell. You're greeted. They ask you how you're doing. You're taught. Like if you happen to be looking at something, they talk about that, about how that could help your life, not just that it can help their bottom line. Like they go above and beyond on customer service and on adding value to you.
Yes.
Now let's take Sears on the other hand. If you've been to Sears lately, sure, exactly.
But if you had that $250,000.
Right. This is the same person that was pushing away the $250,000. And
Now you know
I'd
why.
take it or leave it. No, right. Anyway,
I don't shop there either.
right.
It's overrated. But their customer service is fantastic.
Yes, that is what you're buying there. You're buying that value. That's what you're paying for. You can bring that product back if it breaks or whatever, and you're going to get somebody on the other end. Let's talk about Sears on the other hand, who did file for bankruptcy at least once, in 2010 and 11.
Sure.
They, on the other hand, they have same thing, right? They got a box store too. They're found in the mall typically, and they don't greet you when you walk in the same way they used to back in the 40s and 50s, but they don't greet you when you walk in. They don't add that same level of value that Nordstrom does, and they had issues, and they had to, they're just the middle of the road kind of a company, and those are the companies that struggle. Those are the company I can't think of the word, but anyway.
Department stores?
Yeah, well, yes. But the mid mindset of being in the middle, and so because Dollar Tree, they did great. That they're refacing all their stores because they had record sales. So the bottom did well, and the top did well. Nordstrom did well. It was the people in the middle who didn't. Yeah, the middle. Yes, thank you. That was the middle class mindset in business. Was Sears. So you want to be adding value, and how do you do that? Because really, let's take a new one that was introduced to is Lularoe.
Let me kind of
Sure.
have a caveat on that one.
Yes.
Because just thinking of Nordstrom, what do you think about when you hear Nordstrom? Like, what kind of person shops at Nordstrom?
Not Clifford.
Not. But that idea, that persona that you think of when they shop at Nordstrom. Well,
Rich.
Like we said, exactly. So with these MLMs, some of them cater to the lower class or middle class, but
They are horrible. Have walked out a couple of times. They look at me as a young broke kid. They did not realize I was there to buy a client from Dubai, thousands of dollar clothes for their U.S. visit. And then Sears in parentheses.
You know what's funny about that is the culture mentality. And I've been the same. I've been there too when I've walked into Nordstrom and they're like, because it's the company culture, and what's interesting about that is those people aren't making much more than minimum wage, so it's not like they're making more than Sears or that they make enough to shop there themselves, but it's that idea that kind of customer is who I'm supposed to be looking at. And not everybody has that, because I have seen that at those places, and they think that they're better than everyone, but that's not everyone, and that's not really the motto or the
Company culture.
Yeah, just the branding that they want and that they strive for, and it's unfortunate that happened. I mean, it could definitely be.
Yeah. What's going on, DeWitt? Yeah.
Oh, DeWitt.
Andrew, that definitely could be. It is one of those things, right?
Yeah.
You
buy into that mentality of
you buy into the mentality, kind of from the movie Pretty Woman, right? So the boutique,
exclusion.
The exclusion, they judge you when you come in. But again, if you're wanting to have that, you feel like you want to be a part of that, and then because again, much to what Sonia said, other people view you walking out of Nordstrom's holding bags as like, oh man, they must be somebody, and so you're buying into that concept.
When I was in sales, the rich people, or the people who had the money that wanted to buy, were the ones who were wearing the most plain Jane clothing and didn't look like
flashy.
they had money. And a lot of rich people are not flashy. So it's really unfortunate if that's how they treated you, because
that was probably it. You know what I mean, Andrew, is that they had this concept in their mind of who you were, and it may have changed. Their concept may have changed, and how they treated you probably changed when they realized why you were there. But you're right, and that's a problem. A lot of times But
the same thing happens with MLMs as well.
Correct.
Because I see the targeting, and the targeting is off sometimes, because if you look at who actually buys the product versus who's targeted, you see a huge difference too. It was
it was Sears. Oh, okay.
Okay. I was about to say, because Nordstrom wasn't like...
Yeah.
Really? Sears did that to you? That is horrible. Now we know why they went bankrupt.
Yeah. Oh, okay, you understand. Yeah. Sears, again. So that makes a lot of sense, and it's funny that they would be stereotyping people walking into Sears like, oh yeah, who's this guy, right? Yeah, totally get that, and that's why they had to file for bankruptcy. But I could totally see it on the Nordstrom side too, But typically they sell that value.
Yeah. Sears has a lack of company culture. That's the problem there. Oh, Jada's here. What's up, Miss Jada?
It has been a long time, DeWitt.
Too. Talk to us.
What's
David.
up?
What's going
What's
on?
up is this show. We're talking about adding value. So how do you add value in an MLM? All right. So the first thing is stop talking.
First of all, if you have anyone.
Yeah, go ahead. Yes, absolutely.
If you have anyone who will benefit from this talk on MLMs, please share it.
Yes.
I know you guys are getting tired of me saying this, but...
You guys have been great in sharing this. The numbers show it.
Absolutely.
And so okay, here's the thing, right? We've talked about add value. That is how you should be marketing your MLM products, okay?
Before it even comes to price, it's adding... any kind of sales.
Or that's the what you should be doing, is adding value. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the how in a second.
Any kind of sales. There is a sales process, and then there's a closing process. So the sales process is the most important process, because the closing process takes like 2 seconds, right? Either you're going to give me the money or you're not.
That's right.
But if you added value correctly before the closing process, then when you get to the close, you're not going back to sales.
Yep.
You're not telling them why they need to buy it. They already know. In their mind, they're already made up. Either they're going to buy it or they're not going to buy it. Thanks, Miss Jada. You're awesome.
So here's the how, okay? Stop selling people on the features and the benefits of your product, because it's not going to work. When you do that, there already is, much to what she just talked about with the stress cube, there's already a cheaper alternative that those customers can go to. And when you start talking...
same price alternative when it's MLMs.
This is true. So if you start talking features and benefits, you're going to get in a price war, and the cheaper product's going to win.
Yeah.
Or the person that person likes is going to win over your product. So that's not where you need to be. You should not be in that objection. It's not about handling those objections. It's about preventing those. Because if you have a good objection prevention game, you don't have to worry about having the right answer to the right objection question. Well, the price is too high. If somebody's at that, that's a problem. You need to increase how you are handling adding the value in the beginning of that sales call, not having to answer the price question at the end. Because again, that would be just like, well, how much is this? Oh, okay, where do I sign? How do I get started, right? That's where you're going to get it. And how you're going to do that, how you do that, I mentioned in the beginning, is you're going to talk much to the watch, the $1,000 watch. You need to be selling the experience. You need to be selling the status.
Yes.
You need to be selling what kind of person they could be seen as with your product or your business or your whatever.
Yes.
Insert here. Insert MLM product here, because that's how you can do it. And again, that's why there's some differences in how people are selling, because you're trying to close on a price. And when it comes to a high-end product, again, even though those high-end products, like I think some of the, I think that some of the products, could be even $25. Okay, now in the scheme of things of $25, that's not a lot of money. But when you have a cheap product that you could get for $5, you can get a $5 alternative, you're going to get beat out every time. So you have to sell that relationship. You have to build that brand, add that value to build trust. And then when that knockoff comes, they're going to be like, no. I don't want that product because I have a relationship with so-and-so. I like them. They look out for me.
Yep.
And they add to my status. They're here to improve me, not just their bottom line.
Yes. And Andrew said, I notice when you make them feel valuable, your product will look more valuable. Absolutely. And that's that emotional connection. And, inciting that kind of emotion in selling your product and investing in that relationship that you build, especially in your online communities. Yeah. I think the disconnect here, because like Carl and I have been talking about it for a while, but I think really the disconnect here is that people buy into these businesses for the product. Mm-hmm. But now they have a business. So you have a product and you think the product is going to sell itself because the product, that's how you were sold on it. The product is going to sell itself. Everybody loves this product. Come on, get in on it.
Yep.
I've made this much. Of course everyone loves this product. So they forget that it is a business. And with business comes a strategy, comes a marketing strategy. So you need to have something unique so you can stand out from everybody else. Thank you, Selena, for sharing. Appreciate it. You still need a business strategy. You still need to make that business yours. You're not selling a product. You're selling your business. You're selling your unique spin on the product, your unique story with the product. And it's not just a ho-hum story, because I see that a lot whenever people have offered me to buy into an MLM. Is I'm doing this because I'm a mom, a stay-at-home mom, and I really want to support my family. There are millions of those probably in the exact same product.
Yeah.
And that is you-centric. You need to be customer-centric.
Yeah.
Customer-centric. What do they want? What do they want to see? What will add value to their life? Even, Andrew?
Yeah.
Welcome, Andrew.
What's going on?
Even if it's just something that your customer base would see value in. Like, for example, if you sell Beachbody or something, then add value by sharing recipes or engaging in, take a picture of your plate. Little things like that to build that community, to have people interacting in these groups, because that's when the real fire starts.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, sorry. So Russell says you have to establish a connection and a relationship. Absolutely, that's what you got to do when you're doing these high or luxury products. You're selling these luxury products, which are most MLM products. Mm-hmm. Let's be honest, right? It's about that relationship. It's about that connection, not just the product. And Jada says you have to work it with trust. And a lot of all caps on that. And you're right. Yell that from the rooftop.
Yes.
Because you are right. You're right.
Absolutely. And Ms. Jada would know, because she definitely has that factor about her where, when she talks to someone, she's talking to, like, the emotion of it.
Yes.
She's creating that bond. She's, instantly making that person feel like they're part of her family. I've witnessed it. It's quite magical. But, but yes, trust, absolutely. And if you're inconsistent with your message, if you're only showing, like, hey, guys, the Wisconsin Badgers, you like them? You should buy them because of this cup.
Buy my cup.
Yeah, buy my cup. No, it's a brand loyalty. It's I see so many people just holding their product and saying,
yes.
They know what you sell. They know what you're offering. They probably know at this point, if it's an MLM, how much it is, or roundabouts how much it is.
Mm-hmm.
So you really need to build that value in that connection.
So.
Sold.
Well, that shipped out to you tonight.
Are you sure?
Oh, 51. All right, we got a bid going on. It's like eBay going on in here.
Nice. It has like.
Well, welcome, Kenny. Ken Banning,
Yeah,
welcome. And I think there was one other person
Ken?
that doesn't say 52. Wow, we got a
nice.
And
you know what?
Rena, what's
Added
going
bonus,
on?
It will make you feel refreshed. It is full of ice cold water. It can come with the water if you want it to come with the water.
Come with water and ice. 5201. It was like the Price is Right here. 55. I think this is going to keep going, so we'll keep going.
Awesome.
But yes,
I'm gonna expect you guys to honor that.
Right?
Okay.
So yeah.
Right.
So in closing, let's go in closing because
Do you guys have any questions?
Yes.
About or
Questions.
ideas that we need to like?
Is there something we haven't touched
clarify or anything
on MLMs besides the price of the cup? Best drink ever.
Yes, ice cold water. See, that's what I'm saying.
Ever.
It makes you feel refreshed. It makes you. There's a little bit of condensation on the outside. Makes your hands nice and cool if you're it's a hot day or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, I can sell this cup.
Oh, Cleveland Browns. Oh, I see. Yep. Well, I don't know. That would be a contender.
$2.99. If you really don't like them, why would you charge for it? Or why would you buy it?
$1 million. Nice. Keep it real. Proud of you guys. Thank you, Jada. Thank you, Miss Jada.
Yes, thank you.
So, in closing, let's close this up here so everybody can go do what they want to do on a Friday. Thank you, by the way, first, with spending this time with us on a Friday. I know there could be plenty of other things that you could be doing, and with being able to share it with us. We love you guys. But in closing, stop talking about your product with your MLM. Stop doing it.
Stop taking pictures of the product.
You have a high-end product. Face it. That's what you have. You have to build relationships, figure out how to build a relationship with your audience, and build your tribe, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to increase your sales, and that's what's going to make this so it's not just another, I tried doing this MLM and it failed. What was the question?
Lucky? Sorry. The question is...
I may have to meet you up there, man.
We were just talking about it. We're kid-free, so we're like, hey.
Yeah.
So Russell says, how about a strong why? Why you started this business to connect with people. The why statement it's a great addition to a company. It really is, especially if you have a very compelling or a very kind of enlightening why. Like I said, I often see people say, I do it because I want to make money to do this, or I want to make money to do this. Well, that doesn't benefit someone else. No. Your why has to be something of service. Your why has to be something that's going to create value and add benefit to someone's life and create kind of a, I know why people say, because I'm a stay-at-home mom of three, and I want to make money to help my family, and I know why that happens. I know why.
Someone read GoPro?
I have not, but I'll definitely check that out. So I understand why they're doing that. They're trying to relate with that person. They're trying to build that, a camaraderie. I'm in the same boat. It's cool. I'll buy it too. But it doesn't create a serving attitude. So that doesn't create trust. The kind of why that would work is more like, I have so much faith whenever I saw this product changing lives, or I really believe in this company's vision, or this company's, because the companies themselves provide whys a lot of the time. Has to make you cry.
It has to provoke emotion. I think that's what you're saying.
Yes.
And that's right. You know, that is what a why statement needs to do. Not just provoke emotion in you, but provoke emotion in somebody else. Like,
but the reason why you want to serve someone is not necessarily the reason why you want to make money. Does that make sense?
And it can
Maybe I got the little.
Well, no, it can be couple. It can be together. Okay. So, for instance, now I know his Grant Cardone. He's a real estate mogul out of Miami, Florida. He is the author of 10X. Anyway, he writes out goals. Okay, and his goal is he wants to be known by 600 million people, and he has a dollar figure attached to that. But then his why statement is because he wants to be able to affect the community, be his one of the biggest donators or contributors rather to his church. Right. He wants to help people in need, being able to feed families. He wants to be able to provide for his family, but also for other families, right? So here's a change, right? It's not that he just wants to make all this kind of money, but what is he going to do with that money when, you know, what does it matter if you make $10 to $1 million? Like, if you don't know why you need that $10 or what you're going to do with it, how are you going to give back? Nobody's going to believe in that product any longer. And that's another thing too. Like, if you're going to sell the experience of this MLM, sell the give back. Like, show you giving back to the community or something. Yes. Right? Like these contributions, and you just so happen to be wearing that product, or you just so happen to be whatever. But again, it's not about the product. It's not about the product. When you're selling these higher end luxury items, it's not about the product. If you make it about the product, you're competing in a price war, and the cheap knockoff is gonna win. Yep,
absolutely. And you also have to recognize that the market that you're going for, when he's saying it's not about the product, people aren't going to care if you're going after a market that's going to buy the cheap end. Then you're not going after your market if you're selling a luxury item. If someone is buying dollar store, like a CVS brand face wash or something like that, they're not going to buy an $80, face wash because they don't value it. Yep. That has no value to them. That's not important in their life. That's not even on their radar. So when you think about that and you're trying to compete with that and trying to get those people to convert, you have to realize that that's not your market. Maybe you need to shift your focus a little bit, or shift what you're offering, shift the value or the community or the marketing strategy you're offering towards the higher end, or towards maybe what they would want to see.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. And hey, Lena, welcome to the show. So what I'm getting as I'm watching the comments go about why statement, the why statement, yes, the why statement is going to serve two purposes. One is going to keep you going, and that's
your personal why. I'm talking about your why to your customers.
Right. Right.
Yes, your why statement, that's more of an internal motivation thing. Yeah. I see what you're saying now. I'm talking about your why statement that you give to your customers.
Why are you providing this product for people?
How are you different? Yes.
Mm-hmm. And that's what it is. People buy and this is shown through Etsy. People are into unique. People are into a story. Okay? Mm-hmm. And if your story is similar to somebody else's, it's going to be like, well, it gets confusing for the buyer. Just think of it from your own perspective. If you have a lot of people selling their wares and selling their products, and you're walking down the aisle, it actually reminds me of when I was in Panama. But so I was in Panama in this indigenous tribe there was all these tables all selling the same products. And I walked from one to another and said, hey, I'll take 3 for $5. And they said, no, I won't give you 3 for $5. We'll do 3 for 10 each or whatever. And I said, no, sorry. Go to the next table. Same offer. Nope. Go to the next table. Same offer. He accepts. Boom. What did it benefit me to stick with table 1? It didn't at all. There was no communication. There was no value added. They went through their why statement of what they had to do to put all this together and blah, 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 right? Nope. Didn't make sense to me. I was just looking for the quick deal, and I got it. So again, that's what I'm saying. All right. So
yes.
But yeah, we need to wrap it up because we are getting into the magical hour that Facebook's going to cut us off if we keep going.
That's
so
true.
You guys are awesome.
If you guys want to hear more about like MLMs and
why
stuff
should
like
we
that,
use you guys? Okay, yeah. Let me answer this one real quick. Why should we use you guys? Yes, absolutely. That is what sets you apart from everyone else.
So are we.
And you know what you're saying is, that's going to what you're going to want to do.
We're gonna run out of time.
Yeah, we're gonna. Well, we got 9 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, let's shoot a message. Yeah, let's connect. Andrew, I know we need to do that anyways. We talked about it at the party, so let's do that. We'll talk more, and we can get into that. And actually, we can even dedicate a whole show on why statements.
That was pretty long.
Longest wrap up.
Closing.
Yes. So in
We're
closing,
going for a record.
Okay, in closing, and then in
We're
closing,
going for a record.
yeah, it's like drawing it out. Draw. Okay, yes. But you guys are awesome. Join us here again, Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. We're gonna have a great show for you on Monday. We're really rebuilding a lot of different things, and you're gonna love it. Share it with your friends. Thank you for all the love tonight. You guys are awesome. And again, have a great weekend.
Good night.
Good night.